I'm ready. I know.
Hello. I started from my watch this time because we're fancy. So this time...
The future is here.
This time we're on a bourbon. A bourbon dram. Does it...
Bourbon.
Does it...
Not to be confused with bourbon.
With bourbon. As in bourbon
Which is
biscuit.
a biscuit, I think.
Yeah, I love... Do you not like bourbon biscuits?
Not really.
Or bourbon, whatever you want to call them. I think I've always called them bourbon biscuits. I like how you got the larger one there.
Oh, what a shame.
So, yeah, unusually, which we don't do many bourbons because it's tough to find ones that you'll enjoy.
It's not.
It's just Jack Daniels I hate. Apart from that single barrel.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair enough.
But
it's
is...
because I sickened myself on it.
Yes.
When I was like 18.
Is anyone buying that?
When I was of legal drinking age.
Yes.
I drank a lot of Jack Daniels because I wanted to be Slash from Guns N' Roses.
I've drank Jack Daniels
your
for
dog?
years. Yeah, that's the dog.
Oh,
yeah. So
Christ.
the nose on this is better than the dog fart.
Oh my god, man. What are you doing?
Are we going to have to start this video again, or we're just going to...
No.
Let's go through it. I say get your nose into the whiskey.
Jesus
that covers it.
Christ.
Well, not whiskey, bourbon.
He needs to get himself looked at. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry. Woodford Reserve, for me, has always been like a sort of go-to kind of bourbon. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy it because... and not only do I enjoy it for what it is, but it's also quite useful, I think, in... It's one of the clearest examples of flavour that imparts to a whiskey barrel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So the flavours that you pick up from a bourbon barrel whiskey.
Absolutely, the things that a bourbon sort of seasoned barrel, the sort of flavours that it will impart to a dram are sort of concentrated in Woodford. For my palate,
at least, because in the other video released a few days ago or last week, and when we release it, we did the cask and which is done in bourbon. So like going from that one to this one, because we do record these on the same day.
Absolutely.
Will be really interesting to see
different types
flavors.
of bourbon. Again, just like different types of whiskey, different type of everything. They have their own characteristics, their own different flavors depending on how they're made. Blah blah blah. And particularly with bourbon, they're a little bit laxer on what is called a straight bourbon, but it has to be a particular combination of corn
to be called like a rye. It has to be mostly rye to be called a bourbon. It has to be mostly
like 60-40 or something weird. There's
something
like
like that. It has to be specific. To be called a Kentucky bourbon, it has to be different. To be called a straight bourbon, it has to be different. So they're actually.
It's got its own.
It's actually got specific
designations.
Now this one is quite a high percentage of corn. It's 72% corn, 18 rye, and 10% malt.
It's also a combination of copper pot still spirit. Produced at the Woodford Reserve Distillery, and a column or a continuous still spirit produced at the Brown Forman Distillery, which I didn't know. So it's a combination of pot still and continuous still.
That's quite interesting. Because we spoke about what was other continuous still we spoke about in the Japanese one?
Nika.
Yeah, but what's the still called?
Kofi.
Kofi, that's the one. How did I forget that? But yeah, so we spoke about that briefly before. So this is... Again, it comes out in the rules of what can be called what with bourbon. It has to be aged certain amounts. So this one's aged for at least 6 years. So the youngest part in this is 6 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I often find that bourbon imparts like cherry drops. If you're old enough to remember the sweeties, that's definitely just something I always get from these is cherry drops and that kind of.
Is that like the gingery spiciness?
Ginger, I guess you could be ginger and like.
I mean, we spoke before also about like
cherry drops and sawdust.
Yeah, because we've said before like whiskeys emotes certain things. It triggers memories and where you get the taste from and stuff. So the cherry drop thing that's how you connect it to.
It's like my old woodworking lab.
Yeah, but when you break it down, the cherry drops. What's in those? What do they smell and taste.
Yeah,
like
you've got that sort of tart sweetness.
Yeah.
Ginger is definitely a thing that's probably a more adult way of describing that thing that I just said.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to.
No, that's definitely a more adult way of doing it. But everybody's tried cherry drops, right? And
yeah.
And it's really, really sort of prominent in this, and that's why it's always one I'm be like, if I'm trying to tell.
A little bit of smoke in there.
I certainly don't.
But you have a harsher palate.
I certainly don't. I just get overwhelming sweetness, tart.
Fair enough.
Like cherry pie, that kind of glassy kind of that's
glazed.
Like glazed donut kind of sweetness.
It's American. So.
And a little bit again. What you're picking up is smoke. Is the same thing as I'm picking up is that sawdust.
Yeah, maybe.
I
want to get.
I tried one brimstone. It was like a blue corn whiskey.
Okay.
Which is mad, and it's like husks of corn, but they're bright blue, like alien blue.
Oh yeah.
And they do like baby blue, which is like a really creamy, really savoury kind of like whiskey. But then they do this other one called brimstone, and it was like smoked with scrub oak. It's just those gnarly things you see in westerns, those bushes, not tumbleweed, but those gnarly tree stumps you see in westerns, and they smoke with that, and it made it smell like sort of bacon. It's wild.
You do get the
like smoky can not necessarily we attribute smoky to being that peaty medicinal thing, but it's not always that.
Then you do get the
like a bonfire, like if you were around some boy barbecuing with like hickory or something. I might see what you mean. I just get more and more of that.
It's sweet though. It's very sweet, and it's maybe that overpowers you because you're not used to those types of flavors.
That tart berries and cherries kind of.
It's a cereal sweetness.
You know, if you
get the rye a lot through there.
Tipped a whole bag of sugar in that, it'd be a Copperberg cider. You know, like.
That's not a bad idea. A little bit almond.
Those dark berry, marzipan. There's a lot of that kind of. It's real nice, which is mad because I hate marzipan.
Close to rum. Maybe it's the sweetness and spiciness through it.
I think there's less spice in that than let's say a rum, but
no.
You get that.
It's not a rum taste.
That
it's
deep
just
molasses, almost kind of syrupiness.
Yeah.
This is brutal sweet maple syrup kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That stuff's amazing.
Really nice. That's
and you get that charcoal kind of. Yeah, man. It's just a really, really nice
you get the good
bourbon.
Chunk of oak through there as well. You can sort of get the wood flavour through that.
Imagine just like just reducing that down till it's like syrup and then pouring it on vanilla ice cream and then
stop it, behave yourself.
Oh my god,
sounds amazing.
It does.
Right, so I mean, this one's a quick one on this bourbon.
Like a steak sauce. I mean, I don't eat beef, but I can imagine how that on a just the smell of that with would be amazing.
Anyway, so that's lovely. But
Joy, you're going to show them the other one, aren't you?
And you have to have a taste of it because I want to annoy you.
Do I have to?
Yeah. So this is a novelty. It's a novelty product. It's not a real anything.
It is, but but you're saying that, but it is, and people are why would you do this to yourself? Have you not had enough misery this year? Like, have you not all had enough?
This is why I wanted this on here, because as soon as we got a bourbon, we've never done anything about this because
I don't even want to. Like, I'm cowking thinking about it.
You know what it is?
Why?
Why? If you mix this in with lemonade or soda, I suppose it's got
booze for people who don't like the taste of booze.
Look, I mean, I drink Jack Daniels.
It's Jack Daniels apple. If you hadn't caught that, and I find the green offensive. I find like
apples are green.
No, it was like. Do you remember when they tried to take out like green cans of Coke?
That was Coke Light.
Yeah, Coke Life.
Life.
Do you remember that?
Life.
And like,
Just doesn't look good, does it?
It just drove me insane. As if like, you know, if you left it in the window, it would be ripened and then turn into a normal can of Coke. But there was something about the colour just offended me, and that is the same.
You know what's weird, right? So I drink the Jack Daniel's honey. I've been known to
Jack Daniel's honey is alright.
And I like it with some ice and just drinking it as it is. And the thing I have with this is I don't want to drink this on its own.
Oh,
like I don't want to sit and have one of these with ice. I don't want to mix it with things. The only time I've drank this so far is as a shot, because I think that's its place.
That Woodford's another.
That's amazing.
Give me two shots of.
This is why I sort of want to do with this as well, because this is Happy Pete, and this is Miserable Pete. And it's just
banging though. You can imagine like walking into some sort of Western saloon, like
with your spurs.
2 shots of blind liquor, please.
Chaps.
I don't know what saloons you're walking into. 2 shots of
technically all chaps are assless. So.
2 shots of gut rot, please, miss.
No,
whatever.
That's too nice. You can't call that gut rot.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. It's like a proper kind of
just sounds,
ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I don't know why I'm smelling this as if it requires some sort of appreciation. It just smells fake.
Gads.
It just smells so fake, which is a shame because I like.
Why would you do that?
Just for fun. I think you originally suggested this as well, actually, as a joke, but I took you for
well, I thought we've got a really nice American whiskey here. Why not?
This is a really good example.
Juxtapose it with a bottle of absolute nonsense.
This is a fantastic example of what Americans can do. This is a Fox News version of what Americans can do. Like, it's not real. It's not actually news. It's fake. It's probably not worth it. But
I'm not even going near that.
Drink it. Go on. It just tastes so fake.
It's weird. I don't.
Go on, just drink it and we'll get over with and we can finish the video. And you got some nice whiskies.
Nah.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I can drink that as a shot. Do I enjoy drinking it? Absolutely not. This is something you would have as we're getting shots in. Okay, I'll have that.
It is. It's like
it's still 35%. It's not even like a little wimpy 12% shot.
It's like you know what it is. It's like you've just drank Jack Daniel's out of a glass that someone has just served an apple sewers out of.
That is pretty much it. It's that artificial apple. But yeah, okay, that's that video done. Just easy peasy. Because I like the look on your face. I'm such a knob.
Like how much misery do you want to fit into the rest of your year? Have you not had enough? Have you not had enough? And you're you're all right.
Thanks for
absolutely
watching,
come in.
folks.
Absolutely try the Woodford. If you know what, if you got to buy a present for someone that you don't necessarily like.
I bought you a nice bottle of Jack Daniel's apple.
Yeah. Oh, like that backhanded kind of insult.
If your friend says they like bourbon and they've annoyed you recently, buy them this.
Yeah.
If you actually really like your friend, buy them that.
You've got like a sibling or a family member that you hate, and you can trick them into thinking you're reconciling with them by being like, I bought you a bottle of Jack Daniels. And they'll be like, oh, thanks, man. And they'll be like, oh, it's this. Oh, great.
Yeah, that's the category it fits. Thank you very much for watching again. We're back with another episode in a few days.
Stay frosty. What?